Thank you. Good morning, class. I'm Mr. Amuom, and today I want to take you through essay writing, which is a key component of our syllabus. Now, the other time we looked at a lot of question 3, and in particular, memories we lost. But today we want to look at the compulsory part of it, essay writing, and in particular from adult's house. Now, in essay writing, first of all, we need to be guided. There are some informal rules that we need to know that we are expected to score as we write our essay. First of all, an essay must have an introduction, which will give 2 marks. In the introduction, the 2 marks will score 1 at the link. There's something we call the link. That is the mentioning of the book or the echoing of a relevant character that will answer the question. Then number 2, the second point will score at what we call the interpretation of the question. Every question has its meaning, and therefore at the introductory level, we want to see to it that the candidate gets to interpret the question rightly. Because of the link and the test, then we'll get the 2 marks. Then straight away we go to the body, which we need episodic sentences which should answer the question. And by the way, this is a candidate's own response. So each and every candidate will have his own response, but all in all, given that the interpretation should be uniform, all of them should be pointing to one thing. Then in every question that we give, in the body we'll want to see the candidate reaching out to the details, the demands of the question, and supply the details that point to those demands. Now, these points must be given in at least 4 paragraphs, but we advise that 5 or 6 paragraphs can do. Then we also have a conclusion, which also scores 2 marks. It must be seen. So candidates should not assume. The candidate must do this consciously. Then it must be valid, meaning that it may be a summary of the whole concept, it may be a relevant proverb, or in essence, we are simply saying a recap of the demand of the question. Then lastly, there will be 4 marks that will go into language, and this will be pegged on the body. The scores in the body dictate the content. Now, I want us to look at a sample question and see how it can be used to go through those 4 requirements. For example, Mrs. Linde knows the ropes of life and can fix anything in her favor. Then write an essay drawing illustrations from adult's house. Now, once you get a question like this, it is important, first of all, before you introduce, to earmark the key words in the question. And therefore, for me, the word Mrs. Linde is important because it reminds me that all along I'll be concentrating on Mrs. Linde as a character and not any other person. Then there's the idiom, the ropes of life. You need to underline that. Then fix anything in her favor. So Mrs. Linde, the ropes of life, and fixing anything in her favor. Now that we have Mrs. Linde, the aspect of the title, Adult's House, is taken care of. So as we do our introduction, we need to bring on board meanings of these words by either paraphrasing or interpreting in any other way. But we want to see in your introductory part the aspect, the ropes of life, the aspect of fixing anything in favor, and the aspect of Mrs. Linde, or the aspect that this is seen in adult's house should be brought on board. And therefore, if you look at our sample introduction, we have begun with Mrs. Linde is cognizant of trouble that one may encounter in life. So ropes of life means a task. This is an idiomatic expression, and it is what is catered for by the word being cognizant of the troubles that one may encounter in life. Then what about can fix it? One Then the aspect of being ready to encounter in life and pulling the strings to her advantage. That takes care of fixing in her favor. Then once you get there, if you are a good student, you are supposed to get the 2 marks because we can see the link is there. We can see the test is brought out. However, it is advisable that as students, in order to maximize the opportunity, let us go for the second sentence. For example, this elongation is very important. We are now going to the book. She opts to marry a rich man, purposely to alleviate the burdens of bringing up her brothers and caring for the sick mother. So we have seen one aspect of the challenge and the aspect of how she fixes it. And therefore, this second sentence superimposes the first one. In the event that the first sentence has a weakness, then the second sentence takes care of it. And therefore, this candidate will still get his 2 out of 2 at the introductory point. Then we are looking at the first point. We are talking of it as F because of favor. Mrs. Linde abandons Krogstad and instead marries a rich man when she does not, whom she does not love, but does so for the sake of helping her brother and the sick mother. Now, this is what we call the episodic sentence. We say that an episodic sentence is supposed to answer the question. So we are identifying one instance where there are ropes in life. There are challenges. Mrs. Linde has a shaky background financially, but at the same time, she has a sick mother. At the same time, their younger brother. So we are told that because of this trouble, she opts to marry another man. Earlier, she had had Krogstad as a company. But because Krogstad does not have the money, Mrs. Linde opts to marry a rich man whom she does not love. Why? For the sake of the favor. Fixing the problem, the challenges, the mother, the sick mother, and the younger brothers that she needs to bring up her. So when you look at all this, once you do that, this is what we call an episodic sentence. It is supposed to answer the question and it is supposed to take us to the episode by putting into perspective the character and what the problem is and how the character fixes that problem. Now, for those of us and we encourage that all of us go for one, that will give us only 1 mark. Those of us that want to go for more marks, we must look for the details in page 14, page 15, and page 86. Such that we'll see the trouble in page 14. We'll see how she fixes it here. And then we'll see the favor that finally she gets. Number F2 is she confesses that when she learns that the fate of the helpers have changed for the better, she reflects on her challenges and thinks of how she can benefit from this. Now, Mrs. Linde has come to the Elmers. She has just been told that Nora's husband has landed a job at the bank. Instead of congratulating the family, instead of looking at it in the perspective of how this is going to benefit the Helmers, she's looking at this opportunity in terms of how can she benefit this chance benefit her. And we find the evidence again is in page 14, page 15. And we see the favor is in page 28. So this again is another episode. Episode 3, Mrs. Linde only opts to fall back for Krogstad for company when she's frustrated. Now, after losing her husband, Mrs. Linde is now a widow. When she comes back to town and finds that Krogstad is still in town, a former company, then it is her who starts off this remarriage arrangement. So she discovers that both of them she's shipwrecked. She tells us that she's frustrated. She needs a reason to leave. She has some work to do, but needs a family to fend for. Because of this, she goes for Krogstad and it works. Now, F4, which is the last point, Mrs. Linde only remembers to pay the Helmers a visit after she loses her husband. As much as the two of them, Nora and Mrs. Linde, were friends, it is Mrs. Linde who has left the town and is married to a rich man. However, she does not think of her, reflect back on her friend, Nora, until such a time that her husband is dead. That is when she finds it necessary to come back because she's lonely, because she has tried business, running schools, running shops unsuccessfully. And therefore she's telling us that she does nothing left to even grieve for. After the 4 points, again, we need to remember that we talked of conclusion. And this phrase is mandatory. In conclusion, Mrs. Linde is keen to manipulate every situation. There's a hyphen, good or bad, for her own good. Now, some of us are mistaken to believe that a conclusion is supposed to be long. No, a conclusion is only supposed to be relevant. Once it is relevant, once it echoes the question, it can also summarize, it can recap, and you can also give a proverb. Basically, any statement that synchronizes the ideals of the question will do for a conclusion, so long as the word in conclusion is there. Now we can have this for takeaway. Women have to endure a lot for the good of the family. Right and easy supporting this proposition. Full stop. Refer to A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen. And I want you to remember that this is a compulsory area. You need to make an effort. We need to get feedback. So let us keep on engaging because the 20 marks are important. Thank you.